I got this absolutely stunning So I'm starting this video on Tuesday, the day after I submitted my dissertation, and specifically in the afternoon when I met up with my friend Annika, who I hadn't seen since weeks before our dissertations. Annika, how do you feel to be done?
So happy and so proud.
Understandably, everyone fell a little bit off the radar towards the end of the term as everyone became so hyper-focused on what they were working on, and so it was so lovely this week to just see the people that I hadn't seen in what felt like a very long time and be present without constantly worrying about getting back to my desk. So Annika and I decided to visit a few of the colleges in Oxford that we hadn't got around to visiting so far. We both had a list of the colleges and we've been checking them off, and we went to Corpus Christi here. Corpus Christi, I think, is one of the most beautiful colleges I've visited. I love the size of it and the architecture was beautiful. They had a lovely chapel. I'd recommend visiting. The best thing that she ever read. We are walking with our glasses. Yes. Because it's the only proper way to enjoy a beverage. And then we headed to Merton College where we were having a picnic with a group of friends. Honestly, this was so much fun.
Wonderful. Oh, I'm so glad.
I think I've seen it's not that bad as it looks because most of it is got.
Kenzie, how does it feel to be done?
I don't even know if I fully processed it.
We're at a picnic at the moment, which Holly is hosting.
With the really high
There's Annika too.
Kenzie brought tea.
Cold brewed tea. There's some more floating around
Some
over
there
there
as
too.
well. Quite typically for me, I did head off slightly early at 9. I think most people stayed till 10. I had such a great time, but I do get kind of drained at social interactions, especially when they're quite big. And then on the way back, I managed to do this. I managed to spill tomato juice all down the cardigan and dress. Here's the salad leftovers. Here's my outfit for the day. Complete with so many bookish pins, and I cannot wait. So on Wednesday, my wonderful friend Holly and I went to Stratford-upon-Avon. This is a trip we have wanted to take for months, like half a year, I suppose. It's only about 2.5 hours from Oxford, and the train journey was fairly smooth. I think there were 2 or 3 changes. We also stopped over in the most beautiful village.
It's so cute.
The architecture. And we grabbed lunch at the station. Modelling. This is such a British thing. Oh my gosh, literally like Pratt. Avocado toast. That's more California, I guess, though. Stratford-upon-Avon is, of course, the birthplace of William Shakespeare, and everything here is basically Shakespeare themed, which is kind of wonderful, especially when you study early modern literature like Holly and I do. Rich widow, wanton, cool, naughty boy. What? Imagine this being your public library gift of Andrew Carnegie as well! Andrew Carnegie was a philanthropist, and he donated 2,509 libraries between 1883 and 1929, so did so much for the public library sector. Probably also recognised his name from the Carnegie Medal Award, which is a children's book award that runs every year.
Wow, are you excited?
I'm so excited.
Wow, let's go see where Shakespeare was born.
Now, we couldn't record inside of the house, but these are the gardens outside. This garden isn't curated accurate to how it would have been at the time that Shakespeare lived here. This likely would have been a workyard instead. Instead, what they've done is planted flowers which are related to his plays, and then they've actually labelled them as such. Now, there are loads of museums and significant locations that you can visit while in Stratford, and we ultimately decided on Shakespeare's schoolroom, which was the best decision. We actually preferred this to Shakespeare's birthplace. So well curated, highly educational, and the best staff.
That guy was amazing.
He was amazing. He taught us some Latin.
We know that ante-meridian and post-meridian was AM and PM. I didn't actually know that.
And in Shakespeare's time, they had to be at school at 6 a.m. till 5 p.m.
But then they'd have a 2-hour break in the day to go back home and help with chores. Yeah, honestly, the most engaging thing. Like, I didn't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't
The guy
expecting
who was
it to be that
leading it
good.
was excellent.
Like, so good.
At the schoolhouse.
Shout out to you.
Amazing guy.
And then next on the list was the RSC. We didn't get to see a play, unfortunately, but I really do want to come back. But we got an afternoon tea, vegan afternoon tea as well. Honestly, these cakes were so good, so delicious. We met up with a friend of Holly's mum.
Were you doing a video?
Yeah.
Isn't that just the most fun thing ever?
The view looking out from the RSC is also wonderful because you look straight out over the river and you can see the Ferris wheel in the background. After that, we went back to Shakespeare's schoolroom because we'd only managed to get through half. So the first lesson was in Latin and then the second lesson was in calligraphy. As you can see, the feather quills that we're using don't have metal nib because metal nibs weren't patented until 1803 by Brian Donkin, and it was only in the 19th century that they were mass produced, mainly in Birmingham.
Even scratching the name.
I know I've said this already, but really I cannot tell you how wonderful this museum was. Because think about it, of course education is going to be one of the greatest inspirations for a writer, and I loved how the Latin lesson especially was getting us to think about how things that Shakespeare learnt in this schoolroom went on to appear in his plays.
Is it? No.
If you're coming to Stratford as a literary student and you're interested in influence, then definitely this is one you have to go to.
How do you feel knowing that Shakespeare is right in front of you in this building?
That is him.
The weather too.
Who would fardels bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life? But that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveller returns, puzzles the will and makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others that we know not of.
What is the Latin for right hand and left hand?
Dexterity and sinister.
How bizarre! And here we are championing dexterity.
That's something that we learnt in the Latin lesson earlier. Of course, we know that being left-handed was historically disregarded and associated with the devil, but it's crazy that that's literally linguistically rooted in the word itself. Like in Latin, left-handed is sinister.
Holly, what is this building?
This is Shakespeare's birthplace. Very cool.
How cool is this? They've also got a cross-section where you can see the wattle and daub, which was used to make the building.
Walking down the street where Shakespeare was born and lived.
Shakespeare would have walked with stepping in the same
Yeah,
spot.
probably not the same stones, but...
No, but we did go where Shakespeare was born.
And we went to his school where he would have been taught.
Look at that, we've
That's
been through
pretty
every
cool.
single life stage. All the world's a stage, and we've gone through every single one of those stages today.
Wow.
We kind of did it in order as well.
We did actually.
We actually did birth, education, then we went to the RSC, so that's like his work.
His work and then his death.
Yeah.
We did that on purpose.
So we're here in Lapworth. Great.
This was truly such a lovely day, and we finished it off with some half-price sushi from Wasabi, which we ate in the second quad at Jesus College. And now we're on to Thursday. I started off with some work. I am still doing work because there is so much that's been on my to-do list, which I just have foregone because of my dissertation. So I'm making my way through that long to-do list at the moment, but also trying to make the most of the library resources while I'm in Oxford, because there are wonderful libraries here. I'm just heading now to Noops, and I'm meeting Holly again. This will probably be the last time I see her before she leaves Oxford, which is so sad, honestly. But we're going to go and see a painting at Keble, which we went to a lecture on in Michaelmas term. I also changed outfits.
I remember the first time we went to Noops and we've got 2 each.
Yes.
We just really couldn't say no
This
to
is
hot chocolate.
100% hot chocolate with hazelnut milk.
It smells really good.
I'm very intrigued. Should we
I
try
might
it?
actually take off the lid because I think it might be really hot.
It looks good.
It doesn't look like
It looks
it's
very
super dark.
creamy.
Okay.
Cheers. How should we actually?
It's really bitter.
It's very bitter.
It's not. It does taste like coffee.
It tastes a little bit like coffee, yeah. Yeah, it's very dark. I don't think I would order this again. But it's not actually bad.
And in comparison, this is the
Oh, this one's gonna be much better. I'm so excited.
with cinnamon. Yeah, that's right. Oh, the
So much
cinnamon's
better.
so good with it too. Yeah, this
And
one.
if you kind of stir it, then it gets colder because the ice kind of like...
You're a connoisseur at this.
I've had this one many times. That is so good. 54% with hazelnut milk for the win. 100%.
It's even worse when you just have this. I'm glad you tried it though.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got it. It's so much worse.
It's so much worse now.
I wonder how many people actually buy it.
Probably people that are doing as we're doing it, they just want to try it.
Yeah. Holly, what's this building? It's so futuristic.
This whole building is very futuristic.
It really is, and it's such a disjunct between like this and then straight after is this. So the entrance to get to Keble Chapel is through here. We have to go in the cloisters. Okay, residence. Wow, that's so impressive still though.
It was such a lovely way to say goodbye to Holly, but also so sad because that's the last time I'm now going to see her. Before we meet again, I mean. Then I wrote birthday cards for both of my friends because I was going to a little birthday celebration this evening. I'm just on the way to my friend's house for her birthday. Okay, I'm now gonna head to the library. I've got changed. I'm going for lunch in the senior common room with my tutor from my module last term, who I loved, honestly. Like, her module was incredible. She's also at my college, and I really wanted to see her before leaving Oxford, and so it's really nice that we were able to organise lunch today. So I'm meeting her in 15 minutes. I've been working on a job application today, so I just want to quickly add something to that application, and then I'll head down. Okay, I'm gonna head off now. I'm also really excited. I'm sorry, I didn't get any clips because it felt very inappropriate to film, but it was so wonderful to catch up, and then basically straight afterwards I headed to Cambridge. Okay, we're heading to Cambridge. In particular, I was going to a May ball. Like, the balls at Oxford and Cambridge are famous, and I've heard so much about them while being here, and I really wanted to go to one. And Blakeney was actually organising one at Cambridge, so she invited me, and I took the fairly long train journey from Oxford to Cambridge. I was just reading on the train mainly. Okay, I'm now just walking down to where we're staying. I'm so bad with directions though, so watch me get incredibly lost. I did indeed end up going a rather strange way, and Blakeney was rather confused as to why I'd gone the way that I did. Here is my outfit if you are wondering. I filmed it earlier. I was wearing antlers, resin antlers, because I've always wanted to have an excuse to wear them. The May ball was so magical. It was actually a Midsummer Night Dream themed, which was perfect because it was Midsummer Night on this night. It was the 21st of June, so the longest night of the year. And there was even a live artist who was painting a scene of the college as the night went on. Everything about this was magical, and it is an evening I will never forget. And it was also Shakespeare themed, so of course Blakeney and I took videos of us speaking to this skull as if it were Yorick.
At last, dear Yorick! Oh, what is it like to die? Oh, I feel this momentum glory is too much.
Oh, that's wonderful. Look at that. How do you feel?
Actually, do you know what? Being honest, surprisingly not bad. I would go for a morning stroll right now.
It's 6:15 and I just realised I literally haven't filmed since I left Cambridge. So I left Cambridge this morning and got back to Oxford, slept for like 3 hours. As soon as I got in, I just had a nap and slept for about 3 hours because I was so tired. We stayed up till past 5 AM last night, which is the latest I've ever stayed up when being out. But I'm now actually going to head to the cinema to watch Inside Out 2 because I have wanted to see this so badly. I woke up from my nap and I was like, I don't really fancy doing work, but I really want to see this film, so I'm gonna go. And it's my first time going to the cinema by myself, which I find really exciting because I've got a friend who takes herself to the cinema every week, and I've always loved the idea of taking myself to the cinema. The film was so good. I was probably crying. It was so good. Inside Out is my favourite Pixar film, and Inside Out 2 did not disappoint. I'm also now going to head to Najjar's to get some dinner because they do the best wraps in Oxford. That does bring us to the end of this particular video as well. I spent the whole of Sunday just reading and studying, visiting some libraries, which was so lovely. As I say, I'm really trying to make the most of the libraries while I'm here. But in the afternoon, I spent an hour or two with my friend Charlotte. We went out to get bagels and we went book shopping in our favourite Oxfam because we can't trust ourselves not to go book shopping. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you have more than just a productive week.